All good things must come to an end, and so it is with your home's Wi-Fi router. Let's take a quick look at when you might want to replace the old one. Hi, and welcome to the Gadget Talk channel, where we do reviews and how-tos on a variety of electronic gadgets that catch my eye. If you find this video helpful, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Gadget Talk channel. In this video, we'll take a look at some indicators that are telling you it's time to get a new router for your home's Wi-Fi network. I've been doing some research on this topic as I was starting to get some errors on my Wi-Fi devices, and I wanted to better understand what was going on. By way of overview, we'll briefly look at Wi-Fi technology advancements, using a calendar as a guide, and the dreaded errors. We'll finish up with some factors you should consider when choosing your new router. Let's get started. Wi-Fi has been around since the 1990s when the FCC granted approval for non-licensed use of portions of the 2.4 gigahertz band for wireless communications. The Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, or IEEE, published the first Wi-Fi standard called 802.11 in 1997. As the standard changed with technology improvements, the IEEE added letters following the 11 to represent various versions. For example, 802.11a, then B, and the most current 802.11ax. These various versions included changes in the max allowable data transfer speeds and frequency bands as the FCC made more available. Along the way, the alphabet soup was supplemented with a generational label. The current generation is referred to as Wi-Fi 6 and corresponds to the 802.11ax standard. This generational label makes it much easier for us non-engineers to know whether the device we're looking at is the most current or not. Dual-band Wi-Fi routers transmit and receive in both the 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz frequency bands. The fact that the Wi-Fi 5 generational label contains the 5 GHz band and the Wi-Fi 6E label includes the newly authorized 6 GHz band is simply coincidental. Wi-Fi generational labels and frequency usage are separate things. Understanding these labels is important to you to help ensure you're getting the latest and greatest technology in your new router. So, when should you replace your router? If you're like me, your router is not something you think about. It's just the rabbit ear device on a shelf or table that you pretty much ignore, and that's a good thing. In most cases, you can use your calendar as your guide to when to replace your router. A typical home router should last 5 or more years. However, as with most electronic gadgets, the technology supporting the device can get old very quickly. In this case, a 5-year-old router could easily be 3 or 4 Wi-Fi generations out of date. If you are a big-time gamer, streamer, or have a bunch of home automation devices, most experts suggest replacing the router every 2 to 3 years. For example, the latest Wi-Fi 6 routers can connect to and simultaneously communicate with more devices than previous generations. The most obvious indicator that your router needs replacing is increasing errors. As with any electronic device, heat is an enemy. If you're like me, cleaning and using compressed air to blow out your router circuit board is something you've probably never done. That means the thin, or maybe not so thin, coating of dust acts like insulation, causing your device to run hot. At some point, the heat will degrade components and you'll start to see errors. Errors such as dropped connections, IP configuration errors on your device, and just a noticeable decrease in speed are all indicators that your old friend has reached the end of its useful life. So, what should you consider when getting a new router? As with most things, you'll want to assess how and where you'll be using the device. You'll often see criteria in router reviews or on their product pages. These criteria include the number of connected devices, the size of the home the router should be used in, and of course, the Wi-Fi generation, such as Wi-Fi 5 or Wi-Fi 6. Routers vary in price quite a bit. As with most things, established brands often command a bit of a premium. Additionally, enhanced features or capabilities can also drive up the price. Paying for features you'll never use is silly, but not spending a few extra dollars for capabilities you'll miss is also frustrating. Basically, you've got a Goldilocks decision to make. Too hot, too cold, or just right. If you spend a lot of time on multiplayer online games, your needs will be more demanding than those who don't game. If you've cut the cord and stream your TV programming and have several simultaneous users, you'll likely need to take that into account too. Same with assessing your home. If you live in an apartment or a condo, your range requirements will be less than someone who lives in a 5,000 square foot house. A little time assessing your current usage and future needs is worth the effort. I recently went through this process and got a well-reviewed budget-friendly router from TP-Link. Here's a quick chart of the Wi-Fi speed improvements I've enjoyed with the new device. I'll put a link to that router on the end card to this video. Hey, if you found this video helpful, please hit the thumbs up button below the video and subscribe to the Gadget Talk channel. Click the bell icon to be notified when I post new videos. Thanks for watching.